Hello there, today we continue to explore the wonders of the female form in art. Previously, in our Women of the Bible section, we covered Bathsheba, the woman that David lusted after. This time we're going to go back further to the mother of all humanity, Eve, a subject that has been covered so much by many a biblical artist, perhaps only second to Mary herself. So much so that she's even made her way into the modern video game. Let's have a quick look and discuss. Which one of you put me up to this? No, seriously. Which one of you petulant children put this filth, this pornography in front of me? None of you? None of you want to admit it? I'm having a word with my agent.
This way to the weapons. You take the left. I'll take care of this side.
Sweet. Stellar Blade? I just bought that. Man, that Eve, she is so hot. But this game is more than just one hot babe. You see, the apocalypse has come to Earth, and we're tasked with saving it from an array of strange creatures. The game starts with an epic call to action, which is a doorway into its reasonably interesting story. It honestly came with a bunch of twists and turns that I honestly didn't expect. It excellently builds up characters through cutscenes, and I was genuinely interested to see where the game was going to go. The strange thing is that at first I wasn't super keen on the gameplay. It didn't quite have the finesse or depth as more conventional hack-and-slash games like Bayonetta. It was intuitive, but it felt a bit off and needed something a bit more. Luckily, over time, more depth was added with skills, and it became clear to me that it was all an effort to encourage a more natural experimentation-based learning. The gradual building up of skill honestly feels pretty rewarding, despite the occasional cheap shot that you'll still get from hidden enemies. The Souls-like tag is earned, as combat can be pretty challenging. I honestly thought that the Souls-like elements would frustrate me, but it isn't actually all that bad, and none of my deaths felt cheap, outside of a couple times where I died while platforming. With the plethora of camps and resources available, I think that the gameplay is fairly approachable for people who may struggle with more difficult games. In fact, the overall game design is pretty good. While it does suffer a bit from yellow paint, there are still times where I got lost. These were largely my own fault, but there were a couple of times where the open feel of the world did hinder me a bit. But overall, I am glad that the game encourages exploration in a natural way. If you do explore, you are rewarded with cool rewards that help boost your stats, improve your gear, or unlock more outfits for Eve, all the while exposing you to the game's interesting visuals. Speaking of visuals, yeah, this game is one of, if not the most visually interesting game I have played to date. The art style kind of reminds me of Bayonetta and Azura's Wrath, albeit with much better fidelity and more lifelike appearances. The graphics aren't replacing real life, but the art design of enemies and the world frequently had me looking around in awe. Eve, of course, is stunning and has a number of beautifully designed outfits to put her in. The capture of Shi Jae-eun, excuse my pronunciation, honestly seems pretty close to me. Maybe having a few minor alterations to the body and adding makeup. Voice work is also excellent, and so is the sound design, though I do think that the weapons do kind of lack a bit of impact.
I wonder what
I
it looked
also
before
like the
war.
music, but much like in Bayonetta, I found it a tad too repetitive. But despite my criticisms, this game easily made my short list of titles to showcase to those who argue that games aren't art. Stellar Blade also has immaculate accessibility, likely the best I've seen in any game, and it comes with a number of preset option collections designed to help people who have color blindness and other disabilities that we're showing on the screen right now. And of course, each of the individual settings within these collections can be adjusted and tweaked individually. Subtitles are on by default and cover 28 languages if you separate European and American English, Spanish, and Portuguese, while the voice dialogue also comes in 10 languages. There are also 3 difficulties, though only 2 available initially. I played on normal and found it quite challenging, but overall the game is actually pretty forgiving. In story mode, and with all the tools that are available to the player, I think that most people should be able to complete this game if they so choose. It also has reasonable convenience. While it's only available on PlayStation 5 on the consoles, it's available digitally on Steam and the Epic Games Store. The menus are fantastic and have a ton of options for players, though I do wish that the language options could be changed in-game rather than through the main menu, but this is a very minor nitpick. I also think that the training mode could have been handled a bit better, as you have to back out of training in order to select another skill to practice. I also ran into an issue where I encountered a huge frame drop just randomly, but it only happened once after a fairly long session in a hot room, and there has been an update, so if it was the game's fault, which I'm inclined to think it was, hopefully it is fixed now. I think that the minimum requirements of this game are actually pretty reasonable, allowing for players with nearly a decade-old hardware to play the title. Overall, I really enjoyed my time with Stellar Blade. The story and characters are decent, and the encouragement of less try-hard tactics makes it seem much more approachable than what you would expect. Gameplay is also pretty fun, and the excellent art design and accessibility makes this game pretty good. While I don't think that this game is a must-play outside of try-hard gooners, I do think that it's pretty good and earns a solid decent. But let me know what you think down in the comments below, and check out my last review on Battlefield Bad Company 2. Until then, this has been Gooning Through History. Rob the Slob, signing out. Good night, everyone.